I'm here with Elijah Randall. He is
Hey,
with Fast Track Remodeling. How you doing today, Elijah?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Really, really happy that you're meeting with me today on Zoom. I know you're a very busy guy doing a lot of great things for a lot of great investors out there. So I really appreciate your time today.
Yeah.
So I know you. Everybody in the industry should know you, but the people that don't know who Elijah Randall is and who Fast Track is, give us an idea who you are. How did Fast Track start? What are you guys doing? Why are you guys so special?
Sure. So I'm Elijah Randall with the marketing and estimating department. I'm one of the owners of Fast Track. My business partner, Jeff Perry, he is the one that handles all of our project management team. And we have been in business, overall, Fast Track has been in business about 10 years, since 2010, almost 10 years. We've done over 1,000 remodels for investors. We keep the investor mindset. So I guess in some ways what makes us special is we keep the mindset of what has to be done on a project. What are the things that could be done to maybe give more money? And then for back to the investor. And then what are the things that might not need to be done? Disconnecting ourselves emotionally from the project and helping our clients do the same thing so that they're not overspending or that they're not getting involved in things that once you start something, it's hard to know sometimes when to stop. So it's good to have a clear-cut vision from the very beginning. I also know, though, that investors are two different people. On the front side, they're the budget, and on the back side, they're the way it looks. And so we also try to help navigate through those two different realities of investors along the way as well. I think what's interesting, too, when I say about disconnecting from the emotions, there are some contractors, and it's fine, but they're retail oriented, that they try to appeal to the emotions to get more work done and get more work for themselves. In our case, we'd actually prefer that investors stay more profitable so we can work with them more frequently.
No, that makes perfect sense. I've always liked the way that you guys can come in and really help even seasoned investors saying, hey, listen, this is what we need to be doing, and this is how long it's going to take. Fast Track's reputation does precede itself. You guys have a great reputation on the street. I always feel comfortable as a lender when somebody's using a turnkey remodeling company, especially Fast Track. It makes me feel more comfortable as a lender because I know things are being handled appropriately. It's getting done on time. It's getting done. Everybody has a great idea about like, oh yeah, I can do this and I can save so much money. When you're doing things like that, especially with Fast Track, I mean, to have that peace of mind that it's going to be done. Everybody, again, you can look Fast Track up. They have a great track record. But what I always look for people is not how all their good reviews, but how they handle things in a bad situation. And every time I've had a client and there's like a situation that needed to be rectified or fixed, I knew that your team always fixed it. Can you talk about that? How you guys really protect people?
Well, sure. I guess from the beginning, we walk the property trying to be very exhaustive in the things that we look at, making sure we go room by room, item by item. The detailed scope of work that I'm referring to, we can most all the time produce on site for the client. Now, what you're talking about, though, is what happens if something along the way shows up. Really, I'd say that the project management team has great expertise in navigating through some of those things. Oh, this popped up, sure. But instead of just hiding it or acting like it's not as big of a deal,
right.
we sort of know what investors are looking for. And so we tend toward that direction. Like, look, this is what needs to be done. This maybe is not what needs to be done. What are your thoughts? It stinks whenever something like that has to come up, but what are we going to do about it? And it allows for the client then to say, all right, got it. Something came up, but I'm not the one that has to lead this thing. I'm not the one that has to drive this thing forward. You guys are really helping me through it. You're letting me know what needs to be done. Jeff Perry, for instance, is the head of the project management team. He does a great job of helping people know what needs to be done and not. And in the process, even though it isn't what we would have wanted for the client or what the client would have wanted for the job, if it can be done, like you said, in a smooth manner as much as possible, it really helps to eliminate the extra sting.
No, really well said. I mean, I like, again, as a lender, I always feel more comfortable in the fact that when I see you guys on board, because I know it's going to be done in a really timely manner. Because a lot of times people forget holding costs really eat into your profit margins. And I just feel, lending to somebody knowing that they got their rehab nailed shut and really done well, it always makes me feel comfortable that this person not only is going to be successful in this deal, but come back and do more deals. And that's what brings me up, just a shameless plug. But, I mean, we even felt so comfortable with Fast Track that we even made a no draw loan. Like if any of our 4 products and the short term products for fix and flip or fixed to turn into a rental or Airbnb or owner finance or whatnot, as a lender, Investor Loan Source has actually said, hey, listen, we'll make a no draw loan as long as Fast Track looks at it and gives their thumbs up. So there's two processes of looking at the deal. We'll look at it and Fast Track will look at it. And if your deal qualifies, we'll even do a deal where we'll just let them finish the project with no draws. And every time, Elijah's team calls for something, we say, here you go, keep moving, shorten down those holding costs, and shorten down, any kind of issues that may arise because you have professionals running your crew. So we really appreciate them for partnering up like that and allowing us to do that, because we really respect them in the industry, and we hope to get more people using those services. So we really appreciate that, Elijah.
Yeah, and also that first payment, which you were referencing in the no draws too, it's very helpful for people to be able to have that initial, so they know when they're working with a turnkey general contractor, upfront payments are required a lot of times, and so to have the bank, you being the bank, help out with that as well. I know that's very helpful for the lenders, so they don't have to come out as much with their cash.
Yeah, definitely. So, looking into the market today, hell, 2019 is way different than even 2018. What are you seeing out there where people are running the most issues with when they're getting their deals and looking at stuff? So what are you seeing out there in the market? And then how do you think Fast Track helps them, solve those issues if they can?
Good question. I think that most of the time that I'm seeing people that are getting into this current market, they're either saying one or the other thing. The one thing they're saying is sometimes the deals, they're having to go out of the centralized area a little bit, or they're having to be in some transitional areas, and so they're curious about how to get those numbers quick to put in a good offer. And so we've got that the Turnkey Estimates app. Turnkey Estimates is pro version, monthly subscription app that helps them get quick numbers. And then once they get their quick numbers and get in a good offer, they're able to solve what we've always heard as solving for the right X, where they're able to then take a decent close rehab number and then know how much they can afford to pay for the property, instead of starting out with the price that the current owner of the property is willing to sell it at, and then try to fit their rehab budget into that number. I think the struggle that I see a lot of people doing, even in 2018 and still a little in 2019, though it's gotten a lot better, and this is one of the reason why I'm bringing it up, is because it's gotten better, is because now people aren't trying to plug that number in as much. They're starting to know those numbers a little bit better, maybe because of the tools that we had on Turnkey Estimates Pro, or maybe they're using their own tools. But during their analyzation, they're getting a little closer on those numbers, and it helps them see that the deal is actually worth moving forward on.
No,
or what number can move forward on it.
No, I agree. I saw the Turnkey Estimate Pro app. Man, is that useful, especially, I don't care if you're seasoned or not. You plug in all your stuff, it gives you your estimate. Because really, when you're dealing with a lender like me, I mean, of course, we'll estimate things in the beginning for you so you can see what your loan would look like. But the more information as a lender gets of what you're planning on costs and stuff like that, I can really be specific on the breakdown so you can estimate your profit margins to see if this is something you want to close within 3 days from clear to close from title and appraisal reporting.
Right.
So if anybody hasn't looked at this app yet, you're kind of missing the boat if you really have issues looking at a property and saying this is how much things are costing. It is a great tool, and we're always happy when Investor Loan Source clients have tools at their disposal. I'm a big proponent of having a team and having tools in place. I always tell the investor, your job is to go out to make money. That's your best use of your time.
You have to do everything else. Right?
Yeah, let your team help you make more money. This is a way to do that. So, so anything else, Elijah? Anything that you're seeing that you want to add to make sure that the viewers here today kind of get a feel of how Fast Track does their business? How do you work with lenders like me? Anything at all to kind of solidify, hey, this is something I'm interested in?
Yeah, well, I'd say that once the property's under contract, we're doing that detailed bid that I mentioned. And so what we do is typically within 2-3 days, we're able to get out there to the property to do that detailed bid. But more importantly, we're, like I said, keeping the mindset of the investor. Mm-hmm. So I'd say a lot of times people are feeling very comfortable once they start hearing us dialogue about the property. Hey, good expectations are a great way to start a relationship. Let's talk about expectations in the sheetrock. Let's talk about expectations in what was left here. What can we leave here on the property? I'd say the majority of what a deal is not all of what we're going to be working on the property, but what are we able to leave? What are we able to keep that's existing? Because once we start talking about that, that makes every project unique. Mm-hmm. If it was all a new building, it wouldn't be as unique. But because we're remodelers and we're taking something and we're tearing some of it out, but not all of it, at that point, the uniqueness is in what we're keeping a lot of times. And so having that conversation really helps people feel a lot more comfortable, we've seen. And I think in that sense, the partnership, what you mentioned, is great because then people are able to move forward past that initial fear or past that initial concern that they may have. Some of these deals go pretty quickly. So again, 2019, people who know their numbers are getting deals more than people who don't, right? Mm-hmm. Or people who are willing to pull the trigger are getting more deals than those who are not, or who are overanalyzing potentially, getting caught maybe in their own way. Mm-hmm. I'd say with having a good team that helps you to move past some of those fears, like we mentioned, you don't even have to call them fears if you don't want to. If you just want to call it, nervousness or just a little bit of wisdom, maybe. But whatever you try to back out of that, you're afraid. Let's move past those things, right? So we can actually pull the trigger on something and see you really make 2020, end of 2019 really good for you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a cliche thing to say, but that old analysis paralysis where you go in there and should I do this and that? Remember, folks, you can't change how much it's going to fix the property. You can't change what it's going to be worth after it's fixed. The only thing change is purchase price. That's going to be up to your negotiation. You got to get good tools and good people like Elijah there over at Fast Track, us over here at Investor Loan Source to really help you out, getting your deals done really quickly in a timely fashion to make sure you're profitable. Elijah, you got anything else to say today?
Well, no, I just really appreciate the time and looking forward to seeing those investors out there on the field.
Awesome. Hey, I'm going to put a graphic up and stuff like that on how to contact you. But just in case you got an audio guy, how do you contact Fast Track? How do how do they contact you?
Our website, fasttrackremodeling.com. We just revamped that. You can see a lot of our before and after pictures. A really cool tool as well on there that you can see what a house looked like. It's the same picture. It's kind of neat. It's got a slide over. You can see the befores and afters like real time right there. You can also call our office 832-742-9992. And you could even email me at Elijah@fasttrackremodeling.com.
Awesome. And then, if they're interested in that app, do they go to the App Store or something, or is it just on your website?
It's an iPhone, iOS, or through the Google Play Store for Android, and it's under Turnkey Estimates Pro. I believe it's a 6-day free trial. Take a look at it. If they've already purchased the app, please send me an email because I've got something special for them.
Awesome. You guys already have the app, contact Elijah. And you know what? If you contact us and you want that no-draw loan, we will package all your information up and make sure Fast Track gets it, and they will be right out to get your evaluations and make sure you can be quick and you can be fast in what you're trying to do in this industry. Elijah, anything else to say?
Oh, thank you much.
Thank you very much, man. You have a great day, okay?
You too. Bye.
Bye.